If you look carefully, you'll notice that I'm not in Zion National Park. And that's because I forgot to record an intro to this video while we were there. But I want to tell you, we are going to show you some magnificent, majestic mountains, one of the prettiest campsites we've ever been to, a ranger talk that just knocked our socks off, incredible wildlife, and stick around to the end for some tips on how you can make the most of your trip to what we think is the most beautiful national park we've ever visited, Zion National Park. This is Miles and Smiles. Can you see the face? This is called the Checkerboard Mesa. It's supposed to look like a checkerboard. Tunnel we're entering right now, at the time it was made in about 1930s, was the longest tunnel in the United States.
It was actually started in 1927, completed in 1930, opened on July 4th of that year.
If you want to bring an RV through here, you can, as long as you're not over 13 feet tall. It costs $15 because you have to drive down the middle of the road. So they basically close the tunnel to two-way traffic and escort you through, and then they open it up to two-way traffic again, which is one of the reasons why you'll sometimes have to wait before you can get into these tunnels, because of the big rigs that are coming down the middle. I don't think I'd want to try it in ours though. It would fit, but I'm glad we're in the Jeep.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty daring and a little bit crazy to try to bring a full-size motorhome on a road like this.
You know, the trees follow the cracks down that mountain. That's where they find a little spot to get a route.
Water and
your left, my right, you see this big peak with a little red cap on it. And that is Mount Sentinel. And you can't really see it from this angle, but Mount Sentinel actually used to be quite a bit wider. Until one day, about 4,800 years ago, a massive chunk of Mount Sentinel just fell off. And the rock was so big that when it hit, it didn't really behave like rock anymore. It was pulverized and behaved like water, where it came rushing down the sides of the canyon, splashed up onto the far side of the canyon, before finally settling down in the middle and creating a dam that was about a mile long. a lot of space. Between the grains of silt and clay, you don't have a lot of space. And so when it rains or it snows and the snow melts, that snow can actually seep into the Navajo sandstone. Are you going to show us? I am going to show you. Now, here's the thing though. It can seep into the Navajo sandstone, but it's a lot harder for it to seep into that Kayenta layer. So when those two rock layers meet, some pretty interesting things can happen. Yep. So what happens there? It just shoots out, and what do we have right here? Yeah, water's shooting out right here.
Can you show that us again?
I can show that to you again.
Here we have Abraham, Isaac, Mount Moroni, and White Peak in the back, Jacob Peak.
So, any guesses as to about how many visitors we had that first year that Zion was a national park? 20, more than 20. Thousands? Yep, right around 4,000 visitors that whole year. To give you all some perspective, we don't have numbers in yet for this year, but Memorial Day Sunday of last year, we had, in one day, we had 50,000 visitors.
We just finished our bus tour, our ranger-led talk of Zion Canyon, and now we're taking the river walk, which is a very easy hike along the river at the far, far end of the canyon up to what's called the Narrows. The Narrows is closed today because the river is too high. How was the ranger talk for you, Kath?
Excellent. She did such a good job. Very fun, took lots of questions, was very good with kids. We learned a lot. We would highly recommend getting on one of these interpretive tours. You do need to sign up in advance, so make sure to do that if you're ever out here. Here's the one with a spare sock. They should sell all socks that way.
Explain to our people why we can't keep buying t-shirts. What's our rule about t-shirts and other things?
Buy one, throw one out, or give it away. And I bought that sweatshirt. I thought I'd get rid of my colorful other sweatshirt, but I just don't want to part with it. But one's a zip up and one's a hoodie, so maybe they're different pieces of clothing, you think? I know, I have to really love a t-shirt in order to decide I'm going to get one, and have one in mind that I might get rid of. But I do have a little extra space in my drawers.
Oh boy. Now see, this is where I struggle, because I really like hats, and I do not think I could convince Kathy that I need another one. I've got plenty of hats to go around. You've probably noticed they keep changing and I keep getting different ones, but you know, they don't take up much space.
On the other hand, there's this one, a lightweight hoodie, and it's long sleeves, and it's only $19.99. And given how cold the weather actually has been when we travel, I could use another long sleeve shirt, don't you think?
What do you got for me, buddy? What do you got for me? Oh, good boy. Good boy. So tonight's our last evening at Zion National Park, and it's been, what word did you use?
Beautiful, gorgeous.
Awesome, incredible.
Yes, overwhelming. You know, we're from the East Coast, and there's absolutely nothing like this back east. There are beautiful mountains, beautiful trees and colors in the fall, but not stone rock mountains like this, except for an occasional outbreak like Franconia Notch up in New England. I don't think there's much else.
Yeah, the colors, the wildlife, everything together has just been fantastic. We've got this great campsite here in the Watchman Campground. If you can camp inside of the national park, definitely go ahead and do that. It's definitely worth it. It's so much easier to get onto the transportation systems, get parking, all of those other things. The biggest challenge to Zion, I think, is just the crowds. We're here before the big season, and even so, it's pretty crowded. The parking lots are full. So if you're not able to camp in the park, get up early and get here first thing in the morning so that you can beat the crowds. If you are in the park, well, you got a little bit of a head start, but still get going early in the day, because that's the secret to enjoying the park in its natural beauty.
The shuttles up the Canyon Drive start at 6 a.m. So if you can be a really early bird, you will be the first up there. We didn't do quite that much. Our tour left at 9. But still, this time of year at least, which is the end of May, was a good time to be up there before bigger lines were forming. I just also wanted to add that we have a 37-foot rig, and we fit in here just fine. I know some national parks can't accommodate an RV our size, but this one was able to, and we managed to get a spot here, and it's been great.
Yeah,
beautiful.
If you can't get a spot, keep trying. Try, because people do cancel. And so you should look as often as you possibly can. That's what we got, a cancellation for our spot. And otherwise we'd have had to try to park maybe half an hour away. So keep trying. Well, we're getting ready to pack up the RV for the night, maybe enjoy a little bit of a campfire as we get ready to move on. We're heading east to Moab, where we're going to see Arches National Park and some other great sites, I hope, in the area. Canyonlands.
Who knows what else?
So remember, life's a journey. Make every mile count. Oh, and I almost forgot. Please subscribe, like this video, ring the bell, and remember that your comments, we want to hear them, we want to answer them, and hey, the more comments we get, the more that YouTube recommends our videos.